I literally don't know what's going on with my hat. Like, it's so floppy. But look at these cute flowers. These are hibiscus flowers, if I'm not mistaken. So some places nourish us. Some places, they just give us so much life. Some places we feel like we are moving towards the better version of ourselves. Some places we feel like we are growing. In some places they deplete us. We feel tired, we feel heavy, we feel fearful, we feel nervous, we feel like we have to be on edge, watching over our shoulder, looking over our shoulder. And so it's very easy to rationalize inhospitable places with our mind, but with our body, we cannot trick our body into being okay being in inhospitable places. Where I grew up, it was obvious that it was an inhospitable place, where places where there's violence, where there's abuse, where there's just chaos everywhere. And so places like that, it's very clear that they are inhospitable. They make it really hard for us to be well, to feel safe, to be happy in a lot of ways. And then there are more subtle versions of inhospitable places, and this might look like certain habits that we have, certain things that we do. It can be so subtle, these inhospitable places, and the more subtle they are, the more difficult they are to recognize as being inhospitable and not really contributing to us being well. It might even be sometimes friendships, or it might be our relationships that is not, and inhospitable is not necessarily saying that this is a bad place, but inhospitable, sometimes inhospitable places don't feel bad immediately. They can feel stimulating and entertaining. It can be just the escape that you need to be able to get through whatever it is you feel like you can't openly talk about. Some environments don't look dangerous, but they slowly start to dysregulate us. It's okay, but it's okay. Yeah. You learned how to thrive in survival mode and you spend a lot of your time there, it can feel normal to be dysregulated. It wasn't until I moved across the world to a place where I started to feel safe. I don't hear gunshots. Living in Miami, it was the nightlife. It was just constantly being out at parties. And over time, that was super dysregulating. And one of the things that I think is so interesting is that you can trick your mind or try to rationalize being in an inhospitable place with the mind, but you cannot play that game with the body, because the body makes it very clear and it's very obvious when a place is inhospitable. For example, you go out for a night out at a nightclub or wherever, and you drink, or you go somewhere and you have a few drinks, or you have more drinks than you should, and you can rationalize, I'm having a good time, this is fun, I'm out with my friends, and all is well, and that's cool. But the moment you have a hangover the next day, it's undeniable that that is a place that makes it hard for you to be well. You can literally, it's literally so hard to function. The body is saying, like, I cannot function in this situation. Like, it's really difficult for me to thrive in this situation under these circumstances with these conditions. And that is very clear that a place is inhospitable. Scrolling on apps all night or getting stuck in these and doom scrolling, you can feel that in the body. One of the reasons why I deleted Instagram is because I felt so bad in my body. Like, I would feel so bad. It's almost like this feeling of like yuckiness, like, oh, what did I just do? I just spent so much time on this app, and I could not avoid those sensations in my body. As much as I could say that, this is a part of my plan, this is going to grow my business, this is going to, bring me the success I need, and all of these things that we can rationalize, which is completely valid and fair. And it's just so interesting that our body is just so intelligent to where it's like, it's a no for me. Like, it's a no for me. And really being able to clearly show us our thresholds, clearly show us the places that are making it difficult for us to be well. Hangovers after drinking, anxiety after scrolling, tension after conflict. A lot of us try so hard to grow, to become the best versions of ourselves, to heal things that we know we need to, because we know it'll make us feel better, because we know that it'll make our lives better. but we try to do this in environments that reinforce the same patterns that put us in survival mode in the first place. Sometimes the most compassionate thing we can do for ourselves is spend less time in environments that hold us back from being the best version of ourselves, or that make it very, very difficult to do that. And that might feel so uncomfortable, hard. It might even feel like, how do I even do that? Because sometimes the places where we find ourselves, we have a certain level of comfort. We have things in those places that make it seem like we need them. We need them so badly, and what to do and how to even leave these places to begin with, and what will happen if I leave this place. One of the hardest truths to accept is that some environments keep us so disconnected from ourselves, and we know it. And this is so important, to be able to notice when a place is inhospitable, to be able to notice when a place is making it hard for you to be well, to be able to notice when a place is draining you, depleting you of your life force, of your energy, to be able to know when a place is making you stuck in survival mode. And even within our neighborhoods, our cities, and our towns, there are hospitable places. There are places, no matter how difficult or challenging our neighborhood might be, the places around might be, there's some place, there's some community, there's some facility, there's some class, there's something that is hospitable there. And so that's why it's so important to figure out what to figure out to identify which places are actually not serving us. And also being able to identify the places that do nourish us, the places that do allow us to feel well, to expand, to feel less contracted, less scared, less fearful. We can feel all those things in our body. Once I realized that I was not feeling the life that I was living in the places that I was going, and I knew that I could not be there and be well, that it was so difficult to be well there, I started, and I didn't immediately just up and move across the world. I started going to like different classes. I started downloading apps like ClassPass, trying different things, going around town to things that I'd never done before. And then I started going to retreats. Retreats, one thing that is so underrated in temporarily removing you from environments. Retreats are also powerful because you meet people who are also intentionally trying to grow. And the older we get, some of the spaces that we end up in, depending on where we are, it might feel more challenging to be open and present and honest, and to feel and to say what we feel and express, the things that we've probably been keeping secret or too scared to say. And so when we come into retreat spaces, we are surrounded by people who are intentionally there to do just that. And before we can be at peace anywhere, some of us really do need environments to help us stabilize, because some of us have never had those environments. Some of us don't even know what it feels like to not be on edge, to not be anxious, to not be depressed, to not have feelings of heaviness and anxiety and pressure.